Hi, I'm Donna Dewberry, the original creator of the FolkArt one-stroke painting technique. Welcome to the Let's Paint Studio right here at Plaid. Learning to paint has never been as easy as when I teach you how to load a brush with multiple colors where you can blend, shade, and highlight with one stroke of the brush. Our new program with Let's Paint FolkArt One Stroke this year is going to be all about learning how to paint 50 different types of flowers. And as you can imagine, 50 flowers makes the possibility endless to be able to paint floral designs. I'm thrilled that you've chosen to join me on this one-stroke journey. So let's paint. Today's flower is a Columbine. We're going to be using my reusable teaching guide and FolkArt multi-surface paint. So let's talk about the colors. We're going to be using apple red, wicker white, moon yellow, citrus green, and sap green. We also have the one-stroke brushes, the 12 flat, and the 2 script liner. So the first thing we're going to do is flip it over and learn some of these strokes. All right, so it's going to be a fun process where you use a wet wipe, a baby wipe, or a wet paper towel. Practice on here and sections of what we're going to be painting first, and then we're going to wipe it off and paint again so that you can right at home practice right with my exact brush stroke size, okay? So we've taken a wet and dried the 12 flat brush. We're going to go on both sides of the brush with apple red, and I have a little stroke for you to try it to make sure that you've got enough paint on there, but you can see that really well. So we're going to touch here, put pressure, and stand up to the chisel, pressure, and come back to the chisel. All right, so it's an easy stroke. All right, so it's where you lay it out that's important. All right, so number one, the first stroke is right here. The second stroke is coming in right here. Now you can turn it around if it's more comfortable for you. Here's the third stroke to a point, and then go back. Keep picking up fresh apple red so you've got a nice, thick, nice covering coat, not a thin coat. All right, there we go. Now the next thing we're going to do is take that red brush. We've got apple red. I'm actually going to go right here. This is in our double loader, by the way. We're going to pick up just 1/4 white and 3/4 red. Okay, so we're just going to come right here and don't split it in half. Split it, like I said, in a quarter there. All right, now we're going to practice this stroke, but first I'm going to come right there and see if I've got that color like we want it. All right, so we're going to come right here from the center, pressure, lift, pressure, lift, and you can put a little bit of a wave in it if you want. Pressure, lift. I need more white. Oops, I gotta have a lot of red there. So we're gonna come back here and lift, pressure, and lift on the last one. Okay, so that's the stroke, that's the little flower we're putting inside the first layer there. All right, so the next thing that you'll see is that it has a great center that makes it really nice looking. Okay, so all these little centers are put in here. It says right here we're using a 2 script liner and doing the streaks with the moon yellow, and you're just going to pull them down into the flower, and then we dot it with white. So we're going to pick up wicker white and we put little dots all in here. Okay, and that's how the center looks. The first thing I did was actually put a green dot, a citrus green dot, and then we pulled into there. So let's go do those. They're going to be fun when you see it all come together. All right, and so I am going to wipe this off so it's nice and clean when we come back to study our leaves. Okay, now let's do this big, beautiful flower. It's not too big, but it's like yummy. I love it. All right, so I'm picking up all apple red. Okay, and it's going to make it easy. The first thing that you do is that you're coming from a point and putting pressure to another point. Here's the center of the flower. So point, pressure, point. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is out here, point, pressure. Now, the most important thing here is that you're out far enough that you can be able to see that whole little flower and still see this point coming out. Now, you can trace this and put it onto a project so that you've got the exact positioning of this first petals here. Chisel, pressure, chisel. This is your chisel, okay? When I say chisel, that's what I mean. All right, so we're going to come right here, pressure, stand up, chisel, pressure, stand up. See how easy that is? And this is a dramatic flower. That's the word I meant. All right, so there we go. All right, so if you have dry, I'm just going to go back over it with a little bit more paint and have a nice point. All right, see the coverage? I told you we need that good coverage. All right, so I want that to dry some, so let's go over here and let's learn these leaves, and then we'll put this right on top. All right, so what we're gonna do next is let's go here and pick up with our 12 flat steel. We're gonna pick up and do a tricky little leaf here. I think you'll like it though. We're gonna pick up citrus and sap. See, I kind of split that in the middle, and then I work it in. Split it in the middle again, and this time don't push so hard. Just make it at least 2/3. Okay, so I'm going to come here and practice. Is it the right color? All right, so let's start right here with the first half of the leaf. We're going to slide up and get a point, and then slide back down. We're going to keep going without stopping. Do the second segment and the third segment. Okay, now you just have to practice that movement, right? Up here to a point, down, curved, to a point, down, to the center. So after you practice that, it's important that you go right here. All right, I'm going to come around this way, because lots of times I could do this whole leaf without lifting, but it's easier just to do half of it, okay? So we've done half. Now I'm going to come here and do the other half. All right, see, we're going to come out here, curve to a point, and then we're going to do the second half of that leaf. Okay, and then we just pull with the chisel edge right there into the center of the leaf. Okay, so practice. Practice makes perfect, and you've got a perfect my stroke right there at home with you to go on top over and over. All right, now we also, see, that's what we're wanting to paint, but we're also going to put this right by us so that we can see what's next here, or what we did, how we practiced, so we'll feel comfortable about laying the stroke back on here. Okay, so this little petal flower goes in the middle of this one. So I want mostly apple red and a corner of wicker white. So apple red, touch the wicker white, and we're gonna go back and touch the wicker white the most often. So in between each of these splits is where you put the petal, okay? So I picked up white and I flatten it. Look how nice that is. So red, apple red, wicker white, flatten the brush, and then come right here. Okay, a little bit more white. See, I can still go over this again until I like how white it is. Okay, right through here where we're loading is a good place to pick up fresh paint. Okay, right here, see? All right, then I'm going to come right. I need more white. There we go. This one's still bothering me, so you just pick up fresh paint and restroke it. All right, so that's ready, and this is pretty fresh red paint. So we're going to come back when the apple red's dry, and what we're going to do is come here and pick up the citrus and sap on the 12. Okay, and we're going to come right in the middle where this flower is, and we're going to curve it. All right, and we're going to come out here for one leaf and come out here for one leaf. All right, now let's work on these leaves. Okay, so I'm going to turn it so it's comfortable for me. All right, that's what you should be doing. We're going to pick up the sap, and we're going to look at that leaf right there as we're doing this. So I can turn it, so I'm going to do it just like we did it here. See that? So I'm going to come down here and make one stroke, curve it here, come back down. I'm going to get a little bit more paint. It's okay to stop in the middle and get some more paint. Okay, down and there. Okay, so let's do the other side. All right, so we're going to come in here, out, come way in, and then push down and come into the middle here. So I can come up here and get a little rounded point. There we go. And then we just pull the center into the middle, the stem into the middle. All right, so we're going to do one more. And it's okay if they don't get exactly the same curves. Okay, let's start here. It's going to be a little bit smaller. There we go. So now just to finish this, we're going to put the center in here. You can take a blow dryer and dry it if you want to, but we're ready, I think. All right, so I'm going to pick up the moon yellow, and I'm going to roll it really thin. All right. Then I'm going to come here, and we're going to just have it as a burst. You're going to pull down into it. You can see the arrows here. There we go. See how those are? All right, and all I do to finish this is I take the yellow and I come over here and pick up the white with the 2-script liner. And it's thick white, it's not thin. And there we go. So how fun is that? I had so much fun today sharing how easy it is to paint these flowers. They turned out gorgeous. Remember, practicing on the reusable teaching guides right over my strokes gives you so much painting confidence. Thank you for joining me here in the studio. And remember, we just learned one more of the flowers from the A to Z one-stroke floral painting sets. And I would love for you to take pictures and share them on our Let's Paint with Plaid Facebook group by hashtagging Let's Paint Challenge. Come on, everybody, let's paint.